Have you ever waited for a reply and felt your body tensed before your mind could explain why? At first, she didn't panic. She noticed the delay the way you notice a cloud moving across the sun. It was subtle and easy to ignore. People get busy. Meetings run long. Life doesn't always move at the same rhythm. That's what she told herself. Still, she checked the time. Yesterday, the replies had been quick. It was almost effortless, like a conversation that didn't need thinking. Today, the space between messages felt wider. She told herself not to look again at her phone. Then she looked anyway. Still, there was nothing. The silence wasn't loud yet, but it was noticeable. The silence was like a room that suddenly feels too quiet. She placed the phone down and tried to focus on something else, but her attention kept drifting back, not because she needed a reply, but because her body had already noticed the shift and her mind followed. Maybe they're losing interest. Maybe I said too much. Maybe I should have waited longer before responding. The thoughts didn't arrive all at once. They came gently and reasonably. That's how anxiety often begins. She replayed the conversation in her head, the joke she wasn't sure landed, the moment she opened up a little more than usual. What felt natural last night suddenly felt exposed. The longer the silence stretched, the more meaning it seemed to carry. Her chest tightened, not sharply, but steadily, a quiet pressure she recognized well. Because this wasn't just about a text. It never was. Long before this moment, her nervous system had learned a rule. Silence means distance. Distance means something is wrong. And something wrong eventually leads to being left. Her body reacted before the logic could step in. She picked up the phone again, typed a message, then stopped. She deleted it, typed something lighter, and deleted that too. She didn't want to seem needy. She didn't want to scare them away, and also didn't want to reveal how much the waiting affected her. So she waited instead. And the waiting felt endless. Minutes stretched into something heavier. The time slowed. Her mind kept scanning for certainty, but certainty never came. That's the thing about anxious attachment. It doesn't crave attention, it craves clarity. And when clarity is missing, the mind fills the gap with self-blame. She wondered if she should distract herself, go for a walk, put the phone in another room. But even then, part of her stayed alert, listening for the vibration, imagining it before it arrived. She wasn't dramatic. She wasn't irrational. She was responding exactly how her system had learned to respond when connection felt uncertain. At some point, she noticed how tired she felt. Not physically, but emotionally. All this effort just to sit with a few unanswered hours. She wondered how something so small could feel so heavy. And then it happened, what she long waited for. Her phone lit up, and there was a reply. Simple, normal, and in an unchanged tone. There was no distance and no hidden message. Nothing was wrong. Relief washed over her, but it didn't last, because by then the damage was already done. The damage wasn't done to the connection, but to her nervous system. She realized how much energy she'd spent bracing for loss that hadn't even occurred, how familiar this cycle felt, how often silence turned into a story where she was always at fault. She didn't blame herself for it. This pattern had protected her once. It kept her alert and prepared, but now it only exhausted her. She set the phone down, not dramatically, not angrily, just gently. And for the first time that day, she noticed her breath. Slow, uneven, but real. The silence returned, but it felt different now, less threatening, more neutral. She understood something in that moment. The pain hadn't come from the delayed reply. It came from everything her mind carried while waiting. And awareness didn't fix it instantly, but it softened the edges. Because once you see the pattern, you can start meeting it with compassion instead of fear. This defines an anxious attachment, where distance creates a room of feeling left or abandoned. If you found this video helpful to you, you should like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.